and I saw a bodman, but it couldn't fly. It flapped its wings a few times, then fell down. And the bodman struggled to stand up and noticed me, but I wasn't scared. And I took out a live fish and placed it on the ground. The bodman grabbed the fish and went to a corner to eat it. I picked up a feather from the ground, noticing that the birdman's wings were injured, and decided to help it fly. I took the birdman to the lakeside, asking it to stand on a fallen tree branch. I jumped into the water and cleared away other branches, and the birdman watched me, noticing that my spine seemed unusual, and I pulled the branch out of the water and carried it to the shore. The birdman got ready, flapped its wings, ran along the branch, trying to take off, but quickly fell back into the water. I immediately looked worried, treating the birdman's wounds with medicine. Seeing my smile, the birdman lowered its guard, stopped being afraid, and tried again and again, but always failed. It was so frustrated that it couldn't speak. I ran over, hugged it, and comforted it, telling it that it could do it. The birdman smiled, turned, ran up the branch, and climbed to a high point. And I was very worried, but the birdman was determined, spread its wings, and dived down from the high point. As it neared the ground, it flapped its wings desperately and finally soared into the air. It flew freely between the trees, and I excitedly ran after it. Hearing the birdman's cheers and watching it fly, I cheered for it. The birdman flew around me in the air as a gesture of gratitude. However, when I returned home, I discovered that my spine had started to mutate. I panicked and crashed into a wall, then started coughing violently, spitting out an animal's feather. My body grew thick hair, and I had to clean it every day. My identity as a mutant was exposed, and the police started hunting me down. I quickly ran through a cornfield, but the police found my position, raised their guns, and prepared to shoot. But the birdman flew in, knocking the police down. I narrowly escaped. The birdman then pointed the way, preparing to take me away from the hunter's pursuit. But soon several off-road vehicles caught up from behind. Just as I was about to be caught, luckily ahead was a lake. I climbed onto a fallen tree and escaped to the other side. Just when I thought I had successfully shaken off the hunters, a gunshot suddenly rang out in my ears, and the birdman fell from the sky. When I rushed to its side, the birdman had already lost its life. I didn't have time to grieve, as I heard the hunters approaching again, so I could only keep running. I didn't know how long it had been, but eventually I arrived at a hidden cave. Inside, I saw many who had completely transformed into animals. They no longer had human features and had fully merged with nature. While I curiously looked around, several smoke bombs were suddenly thrown at me. Then a group of people in uniform surrounded the area. They captured all the humans who had turned into animals. I was also taken with them. Fortunately, I was wearing clothes, so they thought I had just gotten lost in the jungle, and they took me to the police station, Nokunasa. Before leaving, I had to sign a pass. However, due to the virus's effects, I had lost the ability to write. In my agitation, I suddenly revealed an animal-like form. The officer instantly understood everything. Just as he was about to draw his gun, my father pushed him over and knocked him out. My father quickly stamped the pass,